Welcome to Fight Night. In Toy Story, Lotso seems unstoppable, but let me tell you something, he's actually not. Because outside of that daycare, many characters could destroy him in 1 minute. So today, we're stepping into the arena and putting Lotso in the ring against every one of them. From psychological battles, brutal fights, to instant knockouts. And trust me on this one, they will leave you speechless. So, like I would like to say, let's get ready to rumble! This is everyone who could kill Lotso. Before we let the bell ring, we need to look at the fighters stepping into this arena. Because yes, I'd already heard you. He's a strawberry-smelling pink teddy bear.
I thought I heard new voices. Welcome to Sunnyside, folks. I'm Lotso Huggin' Bear, but please call me Lotso.
And okay, sure. If we're being technical, almost anyone could destroy a toy. But that's not the point here. Lotso isn't dangerous because he's strong. He's dangerous because he understands how to break someone. You can compare him to this cult leader who convinces people that the outside world is hopeless. So this is not about someone who could kill a toy, but a systematic evil manipulator. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round one. Fight! Okay, relax. We're not throwing Lotso in with the final boss just yet. We need to warm up first. Stepping into the ring first, Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco. And I know, when we first meet Ernesto, he looks like a dream. Charming, polished, worshipped. Sounds familiar? Reminds me of our pink strawberry bear, right? But behind his smile, he's poisoned his best friend and left him to die. Then stole his songs and built an empire on the corpse of the man who trusted him.
I would move heaven and earth for you, mi amigo. Salud!
And that right there, that's exactly why he is the one going to kill Lotso in this first round. Imagine Ernesto arriving at Sunnyside. Instead of challenging Lotso, he would worship him like he did to Miguel.
My boy, with a talent like yours? How could I not listen?
And Lotso? Oh, he melts. Because the thing Lotso deep down wants is respect. Someone who sees him. And Ernesto? He starts performing the act of his life. That's how he throws his first punch. Then slowly comes the shift. With all this charm, he tells a story about a ruler, Lotso, who claims to protect everyone, but really traps them to stay in power. And in the middle of all the chaos he created along the way, he gives Lotso a gentle, not so gentle push off the Sunnyside balcony, just like how he threw Miguel into that dark pit without blinking.
It takes to seize my moment. Whatever it takes. No!
Now stepping into the ring for round two, Hopper from A Bug's Life. The second Hopper steps one of his oversized bug legs into Sunnyside, something changes. Because unlike Skinner, Hopper doesn't just want control, he wants submission. Hopper doesn't manipulate broken toys with soft words. He crushes you, publicly. He beats ants down in front of the colony just to prove a point.
One ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
We know that Lotso runs a prison, but Hopper? Man, he runs a prisoner empire. The key difference is that Lotso needs his followers to believe in the system, but Hopper? He doesn't care if they believe. He only cares that you're scared enough to obey. The moment Hopper sees Lotso, he reads him instantly. He's dealt with fragile leaders before, and what does he do with them? He eats them.
Please, Hopper! I'll get more grasshoppers and be back next season, but you won't.
Lotso wouldn't stand a chance. And you know why? Because Hopper doesn't feel abandoned. Not a slight. He feels extremely dominant. And physically, this isn't even close. Hopper is massive compared to Lotso. Even though he is a bug, he's violent, fast, and completely comfortable with crushing Lotso to make an example. So, round two goes to Hopper. And if you thought a giant grasshopper was bad news for Lotso, we haven't even brought in the real monsters yet. This is the moment where things start getting scary, because next up, we have someone that has no fear. Stepping into the ring for round 3, Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda. We now know that Lotso lives on broken spirits, but Tai Lung, he's not broken at all. He is pure rage with claws. For anyone who forgot, this is the snow leopard who escaped a max security prison built specifically to hold him. The guy who defeated the Furious Five like they were Poe's peaches. The warrior who shattered stone chairs with pure force. This man is exactly who he thinks he is. Lotso's power depends on emotional weakness. Tai Lung, he doesn't even have time to be emotional. And physically, well, I just leave that one for your own imagination. All he needs is 5 seconds with him. Yeah, never mind. Maybe 2 is also enough. That's about the same time it takes me to sacrifice my dignity now, asking you to subscribe so I can finally hit 10K. Lotso cannot manipulate someone whose entire identity is built on pride and fury. You can't emotionally corner someone who already accepted being the real villain. Tai Lung doesn't play around with his food, so he ends this round fast. Full knockout. And if that felt like the peak, trust me, the championship rounds are still coming. Now, we're not going to just talk about some fighter, because this one doesn't just kill, he steals your entire soul. In the green corner tonight, our big boy Kai from Kung Fu Panda 3. Kai isn't just some villain in KFP. He's the conqueror who defeated entire armies of Kung Fu masters.
Kai!
And like if that wouldn't be scary enough, he also steals your chi. He doesn't just beat you, he takes your power and turns you into a jade zombie under his control. That alone is terrible on its own, even for Lotso. Because think about it for a second. Lotso may have turned Buzz into a slave, but Kai? His slaves are glowing green and come with chains. And by the way, sort of dead. D-E-A-D. His level of killing makes Lotso look like a 5-star daycare manager. If Kai walked into Sunnyside, he would see a ruler. And rulers? Those are trophies that should hang around his neck for him. Lotso has emotional control over toys who are afraid of being unwanted. But Kai? He has zero fear of abandonment. He was betrayed and thrown into the spirit realm for 500 years, in case you forgot. You cannot emotionally manipulate someone who feeds on power. And physically? Yeah, it's not even a competition. I mean, those jade blades would cut through the entire daycare before Lotso started his welcoming speech. Kai builds armies out of defeated enemies. And Lotso? He just turned into a green glowing servant added to Kai's collection. Ladies and gentlemen, knockout number 2 of the day. All right, we need to take a small break from easy instant kills. The next fighter? He doesn't win with power, he wins with bluff. Stepping into the ring, Rango. Who remembers him? He deserves more love.
Ma. Crunchy, creamy, cookie, candy, cupcake. Okay, everybody.
I really imagine this is what Johnny Depp does in his free time. But, okay guys, I know that at first glance this match feels kinda weird, but please hear me out. He might not be a warlord or a martial arts master, but that's exactly why this round is so interesting. He's just a chameleon who lies really, really well. Rango survives by improvising. His entire story is built on bluffing his way into power, then slowly becoming the thing he pretended to be. He walks into this small desert town with nothing but confidence and somehow ends up sheriff. He manipulates anyone and everything.
Where I come from, we kill a man before breakfast just to work up an appetite. Then we salt him, and we pepper him.
He plays a role so well that eventually he becomes it. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly how Lotso took over Sunnyside. So this round is something different. This isn't strength versus strength, but it's manipulator versus manipulator. The difference? Rango adapts while Lotso sticks to systems. If Rango walks into Sunnyside, he isn't throwing punches directly. He'd spin stories. He'd plant seeds. He'd make the toys question the strawberry-scented king. And remember what Hopper said in A Bug's Life? If one ant stands up. Lotso's power collapses the moment belief cracks. And Rango? He specializes in cracking beliefs. I mean, he could be a politician because he's a damn good bullshitter. Physically, they both won't win a bodybuilding contest, to be fair, but psychologically, Rango could beat up Lotso's regime so badly that he'd probably jump off the incinerator himself this time. We're closing off round 5 with self-destruction. Now, if you think Lotso is the smartest manipulator in the room, you've never met this professional voodoo doctor yet. Round 6, stepping into the ring, wearing a top hat and a big smile, Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog. Facilier doesn't rule through fear, he rules through temptation. Lotso convinces toys they have no options, but Facilier, he looks you straight into the eyes and says, I can give you exactly what you've always wanted.
Besides, you and I both know the real power in this world ain't magic. It's money. Buckets of it.
Or at least something like that. And that, my friend, that is way more dangerous. Now think about Lotso's deepest weakness again. He was left behind and forgotten. That wound never healed. Facilier would see that weakness in 5 seconds. He'd walk into Sunnyside smooth, calm, smiling, and most important, not threatening Lotso, but flattering him. You built all this? Impressive. But imagine what you could do with a little, help. Lotso would, for once, feel understood. Facilier would offer him permanence, real control, real power, no more fear of being replaced.
Love that, don't you? So, we got ourselves a deal.
Just one deal, one signature. And we all know how those deals end.
Bring him to me alive. I need his heart pumping. For now. Honey! Too sweet!
Facilier doesn't need to overpower Lotso. He lets Lotso walk into the trap willingly. He makes him kill himself. And the moment Lotso realizes he's not the one in control anymore, it's already too late. That's a different kind of knockout punch. A real punch in your own face. All right, let's open the arena doors again. For this next round, you may get confused here for a second because the next fighter stepping into the ring isn't some mastermind and definitely not some glowing green soul collector. He is green though, just more swamp edition, if you get me. Entering the ring now is Shrek. Shrek is a very large ogre who is just very, very done with everyone else. He says what he thinks, and if you don't like it, well, I guess he would say that's your own problem. I hear you thinking, this matchup feels weird, but that's the interesting point. Because you know what? You cannot manipulate someone who already made peace with being hated. Shrek doesn't need followers, validation, or approval. In Shrek, we see this over and over again. Knights attack him, fairy tale creatures invade his swamp. Yep, he kicks everyone out and doesn't even blink. Lotso's power only works if you fear being unwanted. Shrek, he lives his whole life being unwanted. And that's even to put it mildly. He is literally a big, green, stinky ogre in a perfect fairy tale world full of princes and princesses. And, oh yeah, by the way, he's hunted by humans.
Right.
So no, Shrek doesn't care a damn about things. He just wants his swamp and his peace. So you can't manipulate someone who genuinely doesn't care about a damn thing. And once this turns physical, and it absolutely would with Lotso's ego, it's over. He'd grab him the same way he grabs armored knights, fold him up like a swampy pancake, and send him flying straight back to the incinerator like it's trash day in the swamp. So we're closing round 7 with heavyweight energy. Shrek walks away without a scratch. Next up, we have someone colder, more human, someone who doesn't need magic to kill. Stepping into the ring, Shan Yu from Mulan. Shan Yu isn't someone who publicly rages, he calculates. And that is exactly what makes him terrifying. This is the man who burned villages without hesitation. Remember? Lotso builds a daycare dictatorship. Shan Yu? He builds entire military campaigns. And here's the biggest difference between him and the others. He studies first. If Shan Yu arrived at Sunnyside, he wouldn't swing blades like Kai or roar like Shrek. He'd watch. And that, my friend, that is where his power begins. He'd learn who enforces the rules. He'd identify who doubts the system. He'd find the weak points. And according to Shan Yu, every system has weak points. Lotso's strength is psychological control and loyalty. But Shan Yu, he understands morale better than anyone. He knows the fastest way to collapse an empire isn't brute force, it's breaking belief. And once that cracks, it's over. And no, not in a Rango way cracking beliefs over, but in a Shan Yu executes you knockout over.
Me. By building his wall, he challenged my strength. Well, I'm here to play his game.
Lotso can manipulate abandoned toys, but Shan Yu is trained to hunt whole armies. Round 8 ends in a battlefield execution. Now there's only one left, and this one doesn't conquer, doesn't manipulate, doesn't rule. What does he do? He hunts. Stepping into the final round, Death from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
I'm not a cat person. I find the very idea of 9 lives absurd, and you didn't value.
By now, we all know what that whistle means. The moment he shows up, you already know it's over. Lotso's power needs walls, guards, belief. He needs time to talk, time to manipulate. Death? If there's one thing he doesn't give, it's time. The moment that whistle echoes through Sunnyside, the only thing Lotso can do is run, which I bet he can't. Death doesn't care about Lotso's system. He doesn't care about anything he has to say. He sees one thing, a soul that thinks it's in charge. And if there's one thing he hates, it's arrogance. Remember what he told Puss? And Lotso? I'm sure as hell that he doesn't get 9 lives. He wouldn't be able to manipulate Death because Death can't be manipulated. He wouldn't be able to intimidate Death because the only one intimidated by Death is you. Death happens slowly, calmly, confidently. He lets fear do the work. And Lotso? I think for the first time, he wouldn't be the one controlling the room. It would be just a predator finishing what predators do. Death doesn't kill Lotso out of rage like Kai. He kills him because that's the job. And when Death decides it's your time, there's no daycare system in the world that can save you. There's no comeback from this. The bell rings and the lights go out for today. See you at the next fight night.